Gadi Alcon here with Selig Film News, here with the filmmakers behind Thunder Broke the Heavens with Jeremy Coon and Tim Skousen. Guys, this is, what an amazing performance from this young cast. How did you guys find these kids? And wow, I mean, the singing, the emotional kind of arc of both, you know, young Gabe, and it was amazing.
Yeah, you know, anytime you're working with kids, casting is incredibly important. And we had made this decision, like, if we can't find these kids, there's no reason to make this movie. So we were able to get enough development money to cast for what felt like an eternity, but I mean, I think was like, you know, 4, 5, 6 months. And we looked all over the place because we just knew that if we didn't find a girl that could pull it off, and a 6-year-old kid trying to pull off this kind of emotion is really difficult. And, you know, they just came in to the auditions and knocked it out of the park. And, you know, we had this difficulty of finding a girl who could be like the next Jennifer Lawrence, like from Winter's Bone, like could act like that, but could also sing and play guitar. So it was like no easy task finding this girl. And when Alex Peters came in, we kind of knew that she could pull it off, and we knew we could make the film.
With it having such a mature material, and especially the opening and what happens, and they see and witness all of it, was it tough to get them to kind of understand how emotional the role will be? And I mean, he gets sick during it. I mean, that sequence alone, I thought, was amazing to get a young kid like that to be that still, and he looked really sick. I mean, it was creepy. It was kind of like, whoa, you guys took these kids to the full extent of their acting abilities.
Yeah, we tried to do it in a lot of ways like a documentary. We tried to put them in the situation and kind of film them, not necessarily from a distance, but like you would film a documentary, doing like a verite style filmmaking where you're just kind of observing what they do. And so we tried to put them in that situation so they could really get into the character. And then we ended up having to shoot what happens at the beginning of the film, the tragedy that happens, like a month after we did shooting, because the house that burns down in it, the county, there was a burn ban going on in Texas. There's a drought in southern Texas, I'm sure you guys know about. And so we had to wait, and I think that really helped them to be able to, they'd already gone through the emotional journey, and then they got to kind of, you know, they really knew those characters for that kind of pivotal opening scene that takes place. So it's all about making kids feel comfortable, you know, allowing them to kind of form a relationship, a sibling relationship, which ended up working out because Gavin ended up like really bothering, you know, like Alex in like a brotherly kind of way, you know, like he would always be like tickling her and stuff like that, and she's like, quit it, you know, and so they really formed this like true sibling bond as they went through, and I think that all those things kind of help, you know. It's not just what you do while you're shooting, but kind of when you're not shooting as well.
Can we jump to the story? Where did this, you know, story come from, and especially maybe that opening scene? Was that something you read about, or actually hopefully not happened? I mean, that's crazy.
It's sad to say that it does happen, and in fact it was inspired by a real event that I'd kind of read about in the news. You know, I don't know much of the details, but it was on a Thanksgiving, I guess in Jupiter, Florida. This murder-suicide happened during Thanksgiving dinner. Like, there's some sort of family fight, which happens during Thanksgiving dinners or whatever, and you know, somebody left and came back with a gun and killed a few family members and then himself. And so that was sort of the impetus of the story. It was like, whoa, man, what would that be like to survive something like that? You know, on Thanksgiving, you normally not only have like your immediate family together, but like your extended family. What would happen if you lost all your aunts and uncles? Like, everyone was suddenly gone. And so that really was the start of the story. And I always kind of wanted to do like back my way into a Christmas story. So it sort of worked out in my mind to like start on Thanksgiving and have it end around Christmas. But it's not like a Christmas movie in the sense that like it starts with Santa Claus and sleigh bells and all that kind of stuff. But about halfway through, you kind of realize like the whole time this is going on with these kids is the time that's the holiday season. I mean, it's in between Thanksgiving and the end of the year.
And she sings on Christmas.
Right, yeah, she ends up, on Christmas Eve she ends up performing, and so you know, it was, you know, I just thought thematically it worked, so that's the impetus.
Sort of do have some Santa characters. You've got Tom, who's got white beard, and the pawn shop owner. Yeah. He's got white beard, so they're the nicest people, if you will. They're not Tanner hurting these poor kids. Wow. I'm curious, this movie's, the mother character and that plot line, that flashback in particular, that obviously I don't know if that happened in the Jupiter story, if maybe killed the wife, but where did that impetus come from, and where did that arc, because I think that's really helps her character come along. There's a great moment where they embrace.
Mm-hmm.
And talk to me about that, because that seemed like more surreal and more like a miracle was kind of at different points.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's just sort of like, you know, without being like a film that's in your face, it was sort of like this subtle thing of like, you know, when our loved ones pass on, they're not gone forever. That this life extends beyond our deaths, and you know, I wanted there to be this sort of special relationship where, you know, somebody who really loved these kids is still out there trying to like help them in any way that you can. And physically you see it, it's like magical realism. You see these people just kind of appear, but the idea is that they're only being felt in a sense, you know, or whatever they're whispering is something that's only, you know, that only one person is experiencing, not necessarily the audience. So you see a nice moment like that where she's embraced and the mom is sort of whispering something, and you get the sense that she's getting help and being sustained by her mother, but that it's otherworldly at the same time. So that was like a big element in the film, and we revealed it in the way that we did because, you know, it was to kind of reveal like what she, not the mother, but Samantha, the character, is going throughout the film. That like you realize that they went through this terrible tragedy, and you get a little bit of it, and then you in a flashback you realize like not only did this tragedy happen, but she personally witnessed the death of her mother, and she did, and her little brother didn't. So you kind of slowly reveal like not just what she's going through from the beginning, but that there's added emotional baggage that she's trying to work throughout the film, and why it is that her mother ends up being such a special character for her going forward. So it's kind of a complex thing, but one that to show on film, but one that I feel like is true to kind of my own personal philosophy.
Can you talk about the title then and the importance of that?
Yeah, Thunder Broke the Heavens. Strangely, it's the title of a book that my father's a writer, and he wrote a book about my grandfather called Thunder Broke the Heavens, and that has to do with, it's totally unrelated to this film, but I just really like the title because at the end of the film, there's this massive clap of thunder, and it's right at a moment where there's a connection with the heavens, and so it was this idea of like the world beyond and this world kind of coming together for a moment and having something miraculous happen. And so the title Thunder Broke the Heavens refers to that moment in the film.
Jeremy, with your connections to the Dallas area, what was it like, A, filming in Texas, and then B, having it premiere here, having a Texas connection with the film being shown?
Yeah, so I was born and raised here, and like I've known Sarah and James going back to like Deep Ellums. I've known them for a long time, so this is a great place to come. But this is actually the first project I've shot in Texas, so it was kind of it was like a fun homecoming because I've been wanting to shoot something in Texas, and it just never fit it totally fit this film. It just didn't fit any of the films that I've done, but yeah, it was I love Texas, and it's always great to have an excuse to come back.
Was it nice to have the music element? Because it did, I know it's not Texas music, but you know what I mean? There is that it felt like Texas music, especially the way she sings. I was like, I could see this happening at the Kessler. I don't know, it seems connecting to the South and the Southern feel, which isn't necessarily what you guys have shown in the past with your films. This is kind of a nice Southern film. Can y'all talk maybe about that perspective and that side of things?
Yeah, do you want to talk about that, or?
I'm trying to think. Well, you found Bill Fay. That might be better for you to talk about.
So big element in this movie is music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that becomes like her key. You know, in her mind, instead of just like asking people for money and begging, she's like, what can I do? And the one thing that she can do is that she can play guitar and can sing. And so she tries to use that. And so music is sort of her solution to her problems. And you know, Texas was just perfect for it because the bar that she plays at is called Riley's. It's south of Austin. It was like a real place. We had the character's name was Delroy. We never gave him a last name, but when we found this place, we were like, this is literally the place. Like I had written in the script, like live music on, you know, on such and such nights. Like that was literally on the sign, like in front of Riley's bar. So we didn't even have to do like production design. Like everything was already there. So for whatever reason, what I had written was like ideally suited for Texas and its history of music and all that kind of stuff. And so, you know, we were always searching for the right kind of music. And I found this guy, strangely out of England, who played the kind of this amazing, you know, kind of folk music. And we kind of knew like this is our guy. And so all the music that she plays in there is by this guy from the 70s who was making music back then and came back and made a new album for the first time in like 40 years in 2011. And all the songs that she sings are from that album. And we featured 2 of the songs on there. So if anybody's interested, Bill Fay, check him out. He's totally amazing. And it just kind of fit, his style really fit, you know, the kind of music that you have here in Texas.
I think it's a perfect way to close it with the Texas theme. Thank you guys so much.
No problem.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thanks for having us.